What's going on, everyone? So, I made a video diving into the Fairy Princess. Craving something scary. He had some set photos of the poster for the Fairy Princess, which is going to be a high school play. I did a whole video breakdown and also connection to Stu Macher because Matthew Lillard actually said in an interview something about him coming back as like a fairy godmother, and a bunch of people that are like insiders were like, that's a clue. Like, we don't know like if he did that deliberately or not, but according to multiple insiders, Critical Overlord being one of them, who we're going to touch on here in a moment, even he was like, hey, like, that's actually a clue. I don't know if that was purposeful or if it was just a slip up or what, but that's a clue for Stu Macher's return. What capacity does that mean? We don't know. I mean, fairy godmother could be anything. Is he playing somebody else? But supposedly he's playing Stu, right? Is it like some play where somebody's maybe dressed up as Stu or something? I don't know. There's a million things. Supposedly some deep fakes are going to play a part in this upcoming Scream movie. So maybe that's something, right? Maybe they're going to do some type of, deep fake. Maybe Ghostface will have some kind of deep fake thing or something. We'll see. Time will tell. But the reason I wanted to bring up the Fairy Princess poster again, is because we got some new insight on who's going to play the Fairy Princess, right? So Sydney's daughter, Tatum, who's played by Isabel May, is supposed to be a theater kid just like Sydney was, supposed to be in this play of the Fairy Princess. But it doesn't look like Isabel May, who's Tatum, will actually be the Fairy Princess. She may end up playing another role, and that the Fairy Princess is another actress that you may be familiar with. So, per Critical Overlord, again, always take this stuff with a grain of salt. But according to Critical Overlord, McKenna Grace is rumored to play the Fairy Princess for the school drama club. This is very interesting. Could go multiple ways, and we're going to touch on that here in a moment. Again, Critical Overlord has been pretty spot on with a lot of this stuff with Scream, but like I always say to everyone, take it all with a grain of salt. Nothing is confirmed. He even says that it's rumored, right? Rumor is rumor, facts are facts, so just keep that in mind. But McKenna Grace, many of you may recognize because she was hired for this upcoming Scream movie, and she also was originally rumored to be Isabel May. She was going to play Tatum, Isabel May's character, right? And then it was talks about maybe her, like little rumors about, okay, so Isabel May is also going for the role, so the two of them were going for the role. They may ultimately end up being sisters, right? There was a lot of speculation with that, and then ultimately we found out that Isabel May, she's the one that's going to be Tatum, Sydney's daughter, and then Sydney's two other kids are going to be younger, and McKenna Grace is actually going to just play what looks to be one of Tatum, Isabel May's friends. Here's the thing. Does this mean she's Ghostface? Right? So, like, after what Matthew Lillard said, again, this is just my opinion. I don't know. I want to make that clear. This isn't like a spoiler. I don't know. It's just a guess here. But it makes sense, right? Matthew Lillard says what he says about being the fairy godmother, right? McKenna Grace, if she is the, fairy princess, she might have some ties and connections to Stu, right? Could she be, like, could Vince be her sister, maybe? Something, right? Younger sister, right? And is it another family affair, right? That could be an approach. That could be a route that they go, right? Could it be just like she's obsessed with Stu, right? And wants to kind of recreate Stu or something like that, and, maybe using deep fakes, or just like really obsessed with Ghostface and stuff. Just piecing it all together, again, this is just me speculating here, but piecing it all together, I mean, you have Matthew Lillard and McKenna Grace, all tied in and connected, assuming, again, that this rumor is true, all tied in and connected to the Fairy Princess. Matthew Lillard says that he'll be back as a fairy godmother, right? I think that that's something, right? Is McKenna Grace having hallucinations and stuff about Stu? Right? Is that something? Possibly. Right? Could she be Leslie Macher's daughter is kind of what I'm getting at. Right? And her and Leslie, her and her mom, are teaming up to try to take on Sydney in the game, right? Try to kill them. Like, I think that that's a real possibility. Obviously, again, it could be somebody. It could be a misdirection. It could be anything. It could just be she's just the best friend. Like, again, like, who knows? Who knows what's actually going to happen? What I hope it's not as obvious and straightforward. Because also, too, like, that alone would just be very obvious and straightforward, in my opinion, right? It's just like, the jealousy route, McKenna Grace, right? She beat Tatum for the role, and she's just the better version or whatever. And, you got all this, like, drama between her and, maybe they're constantly throwing shade at each other. And then it's like, I'm really the killer. I'm really the ghost face, right? Like, I hope that's not the route. And as soon as McKenna Grace got hired, still not as Tatum, everyone kind of went like, okay, so she's probably going to be the killer, right? Because it was just like, okay, so they decided not to hire her as Sydney's daughter, right? So clearly they have her as some significance in this film because they liked her enough to. They didn't like her in the Tatum role, but they liked her enough to still keep her in the movie, right? Like, usually it's like, hey, sorry, better luck next time, and that's it, and they move on and they find somebody else. No, they liked her enough to go like, hey, no, you're going to play this character over here and still have a significance, still have a role. Like, that is something that I think is interesting, right? And we'll see kind of, again, what approach and how they go about this. But, I think at the... McKenna Grace, I could see as Ghostface. I thought she did, a good job. She's been in several films, right? Like, she was in the Bad Seed, right? She was in, Annabelle Comes Home. She's been in, like, the Ghostbuster movies, Gifted. She was in, like, Captain Marvel. She's been in a couple things, Malignant, right? So she's had, her catalog is great. She's been in a ton of stuff, but I'm talking about, like, kind of in the horror realm. I guess Captain Marvel is not horror realm, but Malignant, right? Things like that. Bad Seed Returns, Annabelle Comes Home, stuff like that. So we'll see how she, like, what approach they have for her and her character. But it does kind of make sense that might be a route that they go. That might be a direction in which they decide to take this with McKenna Grace and her character. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of McKenna Grace kind of playing a role in being that? Do you think, no, right, can't have that role, can't play that part? It'd be too obvious. Can't have her be the fairy godparent or whatever. You got to kind of be a little more creative than that. I'm just kind of connecting the dots and, putting it all together, putting the pieces to the puzzle. It kind of seems like that's the route, that's the approach that they may end up going. Again, I hope it's a little more straightforward than that. But anyway, either way, let me know however you feel down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.